AC24 ਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ-ਬਹੁਤ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੋਸਟ ਪੌਲ ਚੀਮਾ। ਅੱਜ ਬੁੱਧਵਾਰ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਬੁੱਧਵਾਰ ਬੜਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਦਿਨ ਆ, ਮਿਡਲ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਵੀਕ ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸਮ ਦਾ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਕੱਲ ਥਰਸਡੇ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਫਰਾਈਡੇ ਤੇ ਦੈਨ TGIF ਐਂਡ ਹੈਪੀ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਟੂ ਐਵਰੀਵਨ। ਆਪਾਂ ਨਵੰਬਰ ਦੇ ਮਹੀਨੇ 'ਚ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ। ਨਵੰਬਰ ਦੇ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਿਮੈਂਬਰੈਂਸ ਡੇ ਮਨਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਯੋਧਾਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਫੌਜੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵਾਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਹ ਲੈ ਸਕੋ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਕਰਨਾ 11 ਤਰੀਕ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਮਹੀਨੇ 11 ਵਜੇ। ਸੋ ਪੌਪੀ ਦਾ ਫਲਾਵਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਲੈਣਾ। ਸਾਲਵੇਸ਼ਨ ਆਰਮੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਹਰ ਥਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਾਕਸ ਰੱਖੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੰਟਰੀਬਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨਾ। ਉਸ ਕੰਟਰੀਬਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਫੇਅਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਨੇਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਵੈਟਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕਦਮ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਦਰਖਾਸਤ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਿਓ। ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਸਿਪਾਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਜੰਗ ਦੇ ਮੈਦਾਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀਆਂ ਵਾਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਸਿਪਾਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਸਿਵੀਲੀਅਨ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੌਜ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਤਜਰਬਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਾ, ਜੋ ਦੇਸ਼ 'ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਵਿਪਤਾ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਖੜ੍ਹ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਕੇ। ਅਤੇ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਹੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੜੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਰੀਅਲ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੀ ਇਕੋਨਮੀ ਵਰਲਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਆ, ਕੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਟੋਟਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ ਚੇਂਜਿਸ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ। ਰਿਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਣ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਿਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਆ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ, ਮੰਡਰਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਕੋਈ ਦੂਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਾ। ਇਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆ ਕੇ ਜੱਫਾ ਪਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਮਸਲਾ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਜੱਫੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਫਸਣਾ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਥ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਕੋਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਬਰੀਫਲੀ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਅੱਜ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਮੀਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੋਸਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਮਾਰਦਾ, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹ ਜੁੜ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ ਜੀ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਸਟੇਜ 'ਤੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂਗਾ। ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੂੰਗਾ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਦੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਏਰੀਆਨਾ ਹਫਿੰਗਟਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਉਹ ਗ੍ਰੀਕ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਆਥਰ ਵੀ ਨੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਟ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਕੋਟ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਆਉਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਨੀਡ ਟੂ ਐਕਸੈਪਟ that we won't always make the right decisions, that we will screw up royally sometimes, understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. ਜੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਲਈਏ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫੇਲਿਅਰ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਕਸੈਸ ਦਾ ਆਪੋਜ਼ਿਟ ਨਹੀਂ, ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਕਦਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੇੜੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਕਸੈਸ ਦੇ। ਏਰੀਆਨਾ ਹਫਿੰਗਟਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਗਜ਼ੀਨ ਵੀ ਚਲਾਇਆ ਸੀ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹਫਿੰਗਟਨ ਪੋਸਟ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੈੱਲ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ AOL ਨੂੰ 3,15,000 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਡਾਲਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਅਤੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਪੈਸਾ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰੋਗੇ। ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਕਮਲਾ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਇੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਦੇ ਕੇ। ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਤਾਂ $50 ਜੇਬ 'ਚ ਆ ਜਾਣ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਬਾਦਸ਼ਾਹ ਬਣ ਗਏ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ 3,15 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਡਾਲਰ। ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਮੈਂ 4 ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਟੱਪ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, 400 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਡਾਲਰ। ਓ ਮਾਈ ਗੁੱਡਨੈਸ, ਟੂ ਮਚ ਮਨੀ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਐਡੀਟਰ ਇਨ ਚੀਫ ਦੇ ਰੋਲ 'ਚ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਬੜੀ ਦੇਰ ਹਫਿੰਗਟਨ ਪੋਸਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਫਿਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਚੇਂਜਿਸ ਹੋਏ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਐਨੀਵੇਜ਼ ਆਪਾਂ ਡਿਟੇਲ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਇਸ ਦਿਨ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਬਾਕੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਸੱਜਣਾਂ ਦੇ ਵੱਡਿਆਂ ਛੋਟਿਆਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਭਰਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਜਨਮ ਦਿਨ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਾਲਗਿਰਾ ਮਨਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਖੱਟੀ ਮਿੱਠੀ ਕੌੜੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਕਈ ਲੋਕ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਆਪਣੇ ਡਿਵੋਰਸ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਆਨੰਦ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਪਰਸੋਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਭਾਅ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਨੀਵਰਸਰੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਕਈ ਲੋਕੀ ਡਿਵੋਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਿ ਯਾਰ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਹੈ ਜਾਨ ਛੁੱਟੀ, ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਤਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ। ਤੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਕਾਨ ਖਰੀਦ ਲਿੱਤੇ ਆ, ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਮੂਵ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ, ਬੜੀ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਹੈ, ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਕਾਨ ਲੈ ਲਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਲ ਚੀਮਾ ਵੱਲੋਂ PC24 RETV ਦੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਟੀਮ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਲੱਖ ਲੱਖ ਮੁਬਾਰਕਬਾਦ ਹੋਵੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਸਾਡਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਬੜਾ ਹਲਕਾ ਫੁਲਕਾ ਹੋਣਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਡਾਟਾ ਆਫਲੋਡ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੇ ਹਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਟੂ ਮੱਚ ਡਾਟਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਈਆਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖਰਾਬ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ। ਜਨੈਰਿਕ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਉੱਚ ਪੱਧਰੀ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੋਮ ਇੰਸਪੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਰਤਾ ਧਰਤਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨਗੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕਨੈਕਟ ਕਰਾਵਾਂਗੇ। ਅਤੇ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਰੋਡਕਾਸਟ ਸਵੇਰੇ 8 ਵਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 9 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਹੋਣਾ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡਾ YouTube ਚੈਨਲ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬਰਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ 5 ਗਿਫਟ ਕਾਰਡ ਰੱਖੇ ਆ। 4 ਗਿਫਟ ਕਾਰਡ $25 ਦੇ ਨੇ, ਇੱਕ ਗਿਫਟ ਕਾਰਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ $50 ਦਾ। ਅਸੀਂ 15 ਨਵੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ ਡਰਾ ਕੱਢਾਂਗੇ। ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗਿਫਟ ਕਾਰਡਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੰਡ ਦਿਆਂਗੇ। ਜਿਹੜੇ $25 ਦੇ 4 ਗਿਫਟ ਕਾਰਡ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਉਹ ਬਿਯੋਂਡ ਕੇਅਰ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਸੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਰਬ ਲੁੱਦੜ ਜੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਪੋਂਸਰ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਆ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਈਕ ਕਰੋ, ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ, ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰੋ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਫਨ ਡਰਾ ਦੇ ਹੱਕਦਾਰ ਬਣੋ। 15 ਨਵੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਰਾ ਕੱਢਾਂਗੇ ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਨਾਊਂਸ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਵਿਨਰ ਆਇਆ। ਅਤੇ ਲਿਆਓ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੈਸਟ ਆ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੁਰਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਟੇਜ 'ਤੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਈਏ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਤੋਂ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ 'ਚ ਕਨਵਰਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਈਏ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਦਿੱਕਤ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ, ਪਰ ਜੇ ਬੋਲ ਲੈਣ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮਾਸ਼ਾ ਅੱਲਾ, ਸਵਾਦ ਬੜਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ। ਮਿੱਠੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਆ, ਚੰਗੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈ, ਕਈਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਜਾਈਦਾ। ਸੋ ਲੈਟਸ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਮਿਸਟਰ Amrit Sura up on stage. Mr. Sura, welcome to the show, sir.
How are you doing?
Life is good, no complaints.
In the Punjabi terminology, that would be ਆਪਾਂ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀਆਂ ਕਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ।
ਆਪਾਂ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀਆਂ ਕਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ।
And then I haven't heard that phrase for quite a while. When you said mashallah, mashallah, mashallah is a Arabic term from my understanding. So I lived in the Middle East for many years. I lived in a place called Dubai, and I was able to travel into Muscat, Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, all these places that we hear in the West about the Middle East. And I'm not sure if you've ever been there, but it's quite a cosmopolitan kind of feel when you get there, and you're almost, when you're in the Middle East, you're almost in a different bubble altogether. So, when economic failures were here the last time round in 2008, there was massive spending going on continuously over there. I mean, I believe at that point I was doing a lot of decorative artist work for wall renderings and all that kind of stuff. And we had hired some American tradespeople from America, and they were earning probably in and around upwards from $30,000 to $40,000 a month for their services. Right? So I got one of the captions from the guy, and he says, "Look what I posted." Because the company that I was working with, they flew him in business class to meet us in Dubai to do these jobs for some of the some of the princes who had funded much of the reshaping over there. So in one sense, when you're saying earlier, Miss Huffington, sold for $315 million.
American.
$315 million, right? So she would be considered like a normal person in that part of the world, right? It's unfathomable amount of money that is circulating in the world at the moment, right?
I know if I could make $100,000, have that in my bank account, I will go nuts. I can tell you that.
Hey,
And
you know
talking
what
about
I say?
$15 million, look at Elon Musk. And
Yeah.
these people go to banks, and banks are so happy to give them 30, 40 billion dollar financing. That's
Mhm.
crazy amount, right? It's only once you reach that point you can always get banks involved. Trump did the same thing. So
Yeah.
that's how many banks were at the verge of collapse because Trump wasn't returning their money. And they were trying to take all the properties Trump owned because he put a lot of money in some casino and he failed. He
Right.
has zero experience about casino. So then banks decided to leave a piece of land saying if the land stays with him, he probably will return us the money. So these people then take those banks to ransom. You want money back? Be nice to me.
Be
I will
nice.
pay it.
Exactly.
I will pay it in 30, 40, 50 years. Let me screw more people up. And now
Mm.
we see on Twitter, Elon Musk is asking everyone to pay $80 for verifying their accounts. I'm not
Mhm.
doing that.
You're not going to do it?
No, not at all. Why should I pay $8 a month to get verified? It doesn't make any sense.
$8
Per
or
month,
$80?
$8
Oh wow.
per month,
So
$100 per year.
how,
And I
how
think
many
those are American dollars. So for
how
us,
many
that could
users?
be $10.
So how many users are there?
I don't know. He is filtering all those people. He says this is full of scammers and fake accounts. So now get verified so that we can tell, hey, you are a real person.
Hmm.
And it's only cost a nominal amount, $80. I say, okay, thank you very much. I don't get anything from Twitter, so and this is good for TikTok. Many people you will see jumping over to TikTok now. But
Right.
anyways, what's going on in your hood, man?
So the hood stays in. I'd say everyone's in hibernation at the present time. So
Hmm.
again, last week's announcement, and then tomorrow I believe they've got the economic statement coming out. So let's see what kind of other pressures are put in there. Some conversations I've had with some of my peers and colleagues, they've said that some of the clients they were working with have they're looking at probably 8 or 9 months more of being able to sustain themselves on some of the purchases. These are people who buy multiple properties, so it
Yeah.
really depends on what kind of changing factors they'll be going into next year, right? So
Yeah.
once December has passed, and then we'll see whether or not people are excited about pulling the trigger.
Hmm.
Obviously, with one of my good mentors that I work with locally here, they're stating that, okay, well, in realistic terms, if somebody's got the pre-approval process
Hmm.
in hand at the present time, why wait? Why wait until the next announcement? Because uh, that only means your rate may go up a little bit more. So I don't know. You did some math last time saying that on every 500,000 with this last increase, there's $125
Yeah.
a month increase.
It's too much. It's too much. The mortgage payments have gone very, very high. For
Hmm.
people who have their caps on variable mortgage payments, they will see that the payment will exceed what they are capped at because the payments are not currently covering even the interest amount.
Right.
And banks don't want you to be in negative amortization. So if let's say your payment was 2,000, but now your payment is $2,800.
Hmm.
So you're $800 less than what you should have technically be paying. So with $2,800, some portion covers principal, but you are not paying that. Let's say your interest component is $2,200 out of $2,800. So now $600, they are negative equity. That means your mortgage principal will keep on increasing because now bank is giving you more money when it's a negative. So bank is adding that to your principal amount that you borrowed, and it can never happen. So principal amount should always go down. So they will slap higher payments. You like it or don't like it, but banks have all kind of clauses when they grant you mortgage because they know these things can come up anytime. So they are fully prepared.
So in some cases, do they lengthen the amortization a little bit, or?
Well, they may. Every bank has different set of rules. No two banks they follow the same set of rules. Some banks may increase amortization, some may not. Some don't give you the option of changing the amortization schedule. So this is where they are. For those banks that don't change amortization, you are going to pay more money to them. This is how it works. But Bank of Canada is forcefully reducing inflation. It's trying its pursuit of reducing inflation. So far, they have not been successful. Look at this Russia's action when it stopped, when it withdrew from an agreement that allowed export through its seas. It just blocked it. Black Sea, I guess. And then there was outcry everywhere that if he stops grains movement through Black Sea, then it's going to make food unaffordable for many nations, because many nations have 200,000 tons of orders lined up. India has more than 385,000 of wheat import there. So all those nations will then struggle, and there is so much more to it. Oils will go expensive. Items made from the grains will go expensive, and we are already struggling. But gladly, it's a good news that Russia reversed its stand and has agreed to allow trade through its seas. That was today's news.
Right.
So there was an agreement with the United Nations. I think there are a couple of countries, Turkey, Ukraine, Russia, just allowed them to go through it. But in Toronto, in our Toronto, I don't know if BC has a Toronto, but Toronto, the rent has gone up by 20.4% compared to September of last year. So this is the data from rentals.ca. The average rent for all property types climbed to $2,043 as of September 2022. This is 15.4% climb compared to the same time last year. They say it's not surprising that all rents are climbing. So this is the statement of a president and broker of Real Sophie Realty Inc., which gave a phone interview to them. And he says, I suspect that the string of interest rate hikes we have seen in 2022, including Wednesday's 50 basis point hike, will put upward pressure on rental prices for the next 12 months. We saw a condominium a few days back. The rent they were asking was $2,400. And I was told that they received numerous offers. So we came back, we withdrew, because there's no need, there's no idea to compete for rentals. Now the same unit is leased for $2,700, $300 more within a few days.
Wow.
So what I'm guessing, when they got many offers, the landlord saw $2,700 coming, and he said, okay, let's try $2,700. Maybe we will lease it for $2,800 or $2,900 now. So
Hmm.
greed is coming in picture, and that is just a one bedroom plus one den kind of apartment, very old building. The
Wow.
the unit is very bad condition, and my client said, I will take it if they replace the cabinets. I said, it's not going to happen. They are not going to replace the cabinets or the kitchen. Come on, man. You
Yeah.
must be
The
kidding me.
landlord, they wants to do the least amount and get the most. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, the way the direction things are going, I guess, even if people have their nest egg ready to use as a down payment, they're
yeah,
saying, well, I'd rather not go into the complications, let things settle down. I have to
yeah.
have a place for my family.
That's it is.
I think it's.
Things
I
are
think.
not easy on this side of the world, and Ontario is going through an aggressive policy change, and they proposed a bill to build close to 1.5 million houses ASAP, trying to cover, and they propose so many changes. If that bill is passed, it will see many changes happening. Like I can build one more unit on my property without even getting any planning approvals. This is what the bill proposes. So if I want to build like 3 units on my property, including my primary portion, I can do that. So one is primary unit where I am living, one is the basement. I don't need approval for the basement, and the third one is the backyard. I can build a house in the backyard, and they are also saying city will not restrict how much they can build, how much setbacks they can do. I don't know which way this is going to go. But now there's another thing that came up on the market. Like on the market means in the news. Sorry, not in the market. The federal government, you might have read that. The federal government reveals a plan to bring 500,000 new immigrants per year till 2025. How cool is that?
That's fantastic. But here's the double-edged sword now with all these policy changes that the government implements, right? Yes, it's a positive outlook. However, there's been a constraint in the materials, right? So
Yeah.
there's been a backlog of materials because there was projects going on. So just recently there's been an announcement that because of stalled projects
Hmm.
that the building costs may decline a little bit,
Yeah.
which is now going to be counteracted. Say, for example, if that bill gets passed and if you're able to do a bigger square footage per square or GFA on your property, uh, you'll uh, you'll end up obviously there'll be an increase in demand for building materials.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's how it
so
works.
another
Yeah.
supply so another supply chain shortage. So on one end, the bigger projects they're getting stalled because they can't get the material.
Hmm.
If they bring in another bill, so it's just that's fine. I think case by case things might work out really well for individuals. Um, but as a whole, if we look at a 30,000 foot view, it's just gonna, in my opinion, it's complicating a few things.
Yeah. It
And
definitely
and
will
and
complicate a few things. And 500,000 immigrants, and most of them are landing in Ontario. Most of them. So that changes every dynamics of Ontario. It puts burden on the municipalities. They have to come up with new housing, shelters, everything goes up, and demand supplies they get offset, and then more demand, less supply, higher prices, higher inflation. So someone is going to suffer. Well, let's see how the plan goes, but that's going to make a big, shift into the housing market as well. The prices may start rolling up very soon.
Yeah. So the fact that people are going into Ontario, maybe the governments should get their head together and say, okay, all right, well, there's so many people that want to come into Canada.
Yeah,
Let's start them coming into places like, Manitoba or Saskatchewan, Nova
yeah.
Scotia first, right? Over, and you have to stay there for 3 years. Once that happens, spread your wings.
Many places this rule exists. If you move to any province, then they want you to stay there for a while. If you are sponsored by a business in that particular province, then you have to stay there for many years. I think 2 or 3 years before you are able to move out. I wish we had some immigration consultant here to talk about and give feedback on this. But there definitely are some places where this is possible. This is being done. So that is just to keep their economy moving. One of my relatives moved to Nova Scotia on work visa. He went straight to a restaurant which sponsored him.
Mm,
And now the problem is he's the only one there. He doesn't see anyone of his own community or ethnicity he can communicate with. He feels so lonely. Of course, he speaks with other people around, but there is a time when you want to speak to your own brethren, your own ethnicity, your own color. So he couldn't find any, and it is so upsetting for him. He felt sick. The kind of common interest is lacking, so he doesn't know
mm.
what to do. He's just waiting when he would be able to come back to Ontario, move to Ontario,
It's
not
just,
come back,
it's
move
just,
to Ontario. So that still
it's just a
remains to be
matter of
seen.
time.
They're trying,
It's just a matter of time.
just a matter of time. Are you
Yeah.
sliding now? Are you half asleep? Because I see you sliding down and down.
Oh, I'm not sleeping.
Wakey,
Not at
wakey.
all.
Yeah, that's what happens when you sit on those luxury chairs. I have a chair that is kind of wooden chair. It doesn't go anywhere. Sticks where it is.
Ah,
It's like so stiff. Yeah, so I think by 2030, if I remember the data, that data was presented many months back. By 2030, the entire workforce is going to be new immigrants because here people are not reproducing. They don't want kids. The family size is declining. People are living alone. And
hmm.
in older age, producing a baby is becoming very dangerous. And they are more focused on their careers. So every growth that we are going to see in workforce will all be from other countries. I guess
Well,
this 500,000 target every year till 2025 is part of that plan. They see things up to a distance that you and me cannot see.
so another
That's why they pay
1.5
million
million.
dollars in salaries to those economists.
Right, exactly. Planning for the future, I guess. Future generations there, we do need workforces. Now, going
Yeah,
back in, it was the same thing. Like when migration was happening in the past,
yeah.
everybody was an immigrant in Canada, anyways. So the workforce has been predominantly, you know, uh, foreign. Whether
Hmm.
you're whatever background you have, you've been foreign. So unless you're
Yeah, we
Native
are all
American.
immigrants in this country anyway. But we will be back after a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be back soon. Are you looking for a reliable legal office that can handle your closing in the most effective manner? If yes, please get in touch with Rakesh Joshi at 416 213 8600. Joshi Law Office provides all the legal advices about real estate law, business law, immigration laws, notarization and affidavits, wills and trust. Give them a call today, 416-213-8600. Are you looking for reliable immigration services? If yes, contact Sukhi Paul at 647-296-4575 or office phone number 905-790-8877. They are located at 219-220 at 7956 Torban Road. It's right at the intersection of Torban Road and Steeles Avenue West. Contact them for all kind of visa services. Finding an honest and diligent insurance and investment advisor is a rarity these days. If you are looking for great advice, contact Mr. Bhupendra Mane, who is the regional director of Cosmos Financial Center. They are located at Unit number 830 Top Flight Drive, Mississauga. The phone number to call is 647-448-6229. Give them a call today. Is your business suffering from performance? If yes, it is the right time to call Ravinder Duggi at 416-807-7986. She will find out the weak points and the points where the performance issues are paramount and help you fix those issues. Give her a call today. Do not be late. Are you looking to buy or sell your home or any commercial real estate? If yes, call me today at 647-333-2273 or 647-328-3279. I provide services in real estate and mortgages. I am mortgage broker with Akal Mortgages Inc., where when we say yes, we stand behind our promise. Reach out to me today. Do you want to shop right without burning your pockets? If yes, please visit Monisha Discount Warehouse at 377 Burnhamthorpe Road, East Mississauga, Ontario. They are the best. They have all kind of Indian, Pakistani and other local stuff that you can buy at literally throwaway prices. Contact them at 905-361-0773. Monisha Discount Warehouse. D.P. Jain is a well-known name in the fields of accounting. You can contact him today at his cell number 416-305-0080 or his office number 905-790-9327. Once you start working with him, you will never want to leave him. He is 5-star professional. Call him today. D.P. Jain Professional Corporation. PC24 RE-TV is heard over so many different channels. If you want to promote your business for free, call me at 647-333-2273. You can also send your artwork to contact@paulcheema.com. We are here to be partners in your business success. 647-333-2273. Welcome to PC24's program for today, which is Wednesday, and we are talking about some matters that can, make or break some people's plans to buy a house or sell a house. The economy is undergoing sea changes, as we see. International scene is changing so rapidly that we don't even know what will happen in the next moment. The war between Ukraine and Russia is taking a very high toll on many families because inflation went up, the prices of items went up, and inflation is not coming under control. This is worldwide phenomena, not just restricted to Ontario or Canada or US. It's worldwide. It's spread all over. And gladly, the news that I want to share with you is that Russia had put kind of a blockade on international export through its Black Sea, but today they reversed their stand and exports are continuing. Had that not been reversed, the price of wheat and its product that are derived from wheat could be skyrocketing, and many nations would depend on wheat solely as their staple diet. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how much suffering they would have to suffer. I guess we have our guest back on the stage, so let's bring him up. I caught you
Yes.
missing
So,
from the stage.
oh no, I was always here, just out of sight.
Man, I caught you. I saw those three bright lights on that, painting behind. It reflects on the
Oh,
glass. Yeah,
yeah,
your
yeah,
ceiling lights. Do you know in Toronto, a
yeah.
family bought 38 room house.
Wow.
38 room house in Toronto. And can
How
you
many
imagine the
millions?
price of that house?
Are you into
And
40 million? A
okay,
little bit more.
that's
How
cool
how
enough.
many
That's
millions?
close.
Wow.
That's close. You're very close.
Wow.
They paid
Wha-
$575,000 for this 150 years old home in southwestern Ontario. And this is the house of their dreams. They went in, they immediately thought this is the house they want. And $575,000 asking price was $599,999.
Wow. So there's going to be a fair amount of renovations they're going to do to that. I'm assuming.
Well, the catch here is this house used to be a funeral home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this used to be a funeral home and they took it over. And they're saying we still see ghosts around this house. They see someone walking through the hallways. They see a lady that says hello to them. And the daughter, she said, oh, I see some people sitting on my bed. I don't know, these paranormal activities, are they real or they are imaginary? But this is what they disclose. And if I can share the video with you, I would be more than happy to share it, but I don't know how do I bring it on screen for you. So let me see if I can just copy it, because this is on a website and I'm not sure if they will allow me to. Yeah, because they need to play this silly ad before you actually show it. This is on
Wow.
CP24. CP24, and they bought this house. They got lucky. $575,000 house, and that has 38 bedrooms in it, and they are trying to use each and every room. They
How
even
big is the
found
house?
they even found a casket there.
Wow. Well, I
That
mean,
is
that's a
phenomenal. So tell me one
with that.
thing, honestly, would you buy such a house?
Well, it would have to be the location, right? If there's the location would have to be key.
Yeah, whatever. Let's say it's the best location, but would you still go for it? That's what I'm asking.
I probably would. Yeah, I think so.
So you are not
Um,
scared of ghosts? I am very scared of ghosts. And I don't
well,
even know if they really exist.
whether you're scared or not, there's still spirits and beings, right? Uh,
Hmm.
everywhere without you even seeing them. Um, and they kind of maybe concentrate too much in one area if it's been perpetually used for a certain thing. So, say for example, if you go for a walk uh, at a nearby cemetery,
Hmm.
you know, um, keep that in mind. I mean, your mindset is already going to be like, okay, are there going to be ghosts? Well, you're already on that frequency and you're looking for them,
So your mind is
and you
making
don't
up the
even.
stories. Here is the video from CP24. Have a look.
Hmm. Volume.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get the audio here, so I'm not. Oh, did I? I think I muted the audio. Let me replay it. Can you hear the audio now?
No.
Okay, then I don't know why, because for weird reason the audio doesn't play, and this is their own media player. This is I don't know if it is on YouTube or not, but I don't see it here. Maybe if it is on YouTube, then it's easy for me to source it. But they 38 room funeral home for 599, 999. So they walked in. They didn't want to leave Toronto, and then they saw it. They said, "Okay, throw money in," and now they are renovating it. Even if they put 300,000 in it, this house may be worth way more. And they just
Hmm.
had the Halloween party there, befitting
Wow.
the scene. And they have been living there for more than 1.5 years, Amrit.
So they're getting obviously used to, used to the um, way of life, I guess. At the end of the day, it really is whether or not you're scared. If it's not in your face all the time, or you just get used to something.
Yeah, so they
So,
they say they kind of these ghosts or whatever they see, they're friendly, they're good people. They don't
the
bother them.
spirit,
This is what they're saying.
right?
So, well,
But
I don't know. I have no idea how this really happens. I have never seen any ghost in my life. I don't know if you have seen them, but I haven't seen any. When I am on my bed, I am dead on my bed. Nothing, I see nothing. I just sleep and then I'm done. I'm dead the moment I am on the bed. I wake up in the morning. That's the great thing. So Calgary homes, they fall 15% in October, but they say on track for record year. This is real estate board statement. And pre-construction homes, this higher rates may prevent some buyers from taking the ownership of pre-construction homes. You know, when people are putting so much money buying those pre-constructions, they're promising to pay X dollars in future. But now the future is they cannot qualify for it. And there may be default on those home purchases. And I'm guessing many houses will be listed by the builder in order to mitigate the loss, because buyers may want to get their deposit back, which is not as insured as any resale homes, like which is up to $100,000 as deposit protection. In Ontario, I'm not sure how much protection your boards give. For Ontario home buyers, if they buy resale, it is up to $100,000 deposit protection. If you put $200,000 deposit and the brokerage goes bankrupt, the receiver will only pay you up to 100,000 provided there is enough cash
mhm.
after selling assets of the brokerage, right? But in case of pre-construction, I think it is only up to $20,000. If you pay 100,000 or $150,000, you can only get up to 20,000. I will still have to recheck this number through the deposit protection. Rest money, because it stays with builders builders solicitors trust account, you may not even get that money. So
Right.
now, because
Some.
of this is a Remax report, it says buyers of pre-construction homes put down a deposit and the builders set a date to deliver the home. Upfront costs are generally lower as the deposit or down payment occurs at set intervals. A lot has changed over the course of the last 2 years. So if you bought something pre-construction 2 years ago, you might not be working in the same industry or different things may have changed for you financially. And when the rates went through the roof, many people may not even qualify for that particular price of the home. What do you think? So you will see many happening in your hood as well.
So yeah, there are some things ongoing. We've seen some developments extend the estimated completion time, right?
Are you also
So
seeing some builders reducing the prices?
so they're reducing some prices, but then they're also making statements such as if the value declines on the overall property purchase price,
Mhm.
they would reduce it at that percentage um, based on the other developments that they have sold. So, say for
Yeah.
example, a developer's done five projects, and if they all decline in value by the time completion happens,
Hmm.
they will guarantee that the same percentage of decline would be applied to uh, uh, your pre-sale purchase. So, and that's I've only seen that with one developer,
Okay.
one marketing company doing that for a developer.
Okay.
On the other front, when there might be some options for people to get. Uh, I don't know whether the banks would be able to, um, you know, take the same qualification, whether or not something changes
Hmm.
3 years from now, and qualify you at the same rate. Um, because there were programs here. I'm sure they're across Canada that they would hold that rate for the for the purchaser. RBC was doing that. So um, interesting times. There's very interesting times. I think if 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 certain developers have acquired land 20 years ago, then
Hmm.
they're uh, in a better position than people who've acquired the land more recently, because the cost of your major component of the housing is substantially less. So
Yeah.
there's still going to be some reasonably priced properties out there.
Yeah.
Um, like I say, I mean, it's just a matter of time when things do stabilize. People are being pushed and pulled in directions, and their main aspect is to stay. Um, they have to stay ahead of the game and
Hmm.
uh, be present for their families. So it's they've got to grind away. Um, and there's
Well, I
been people
really
who.
feel for all these people who are having challenges closing for the house they, very dearly selected a few years back, the pre-construction. They set their dream, they were hoping for some cash flow. Many people put money there in order to make profit after flipping it. But in 2023, flipping will be subject to income gains. that will be considered as a business income if you sell your property less than 12 months after you purchase it. So if that happens, it's going to change a lot of dynamics. Maybe more houses will be available for users rather than investors, or some investors may have to hold off selling them until 1 year. So if some person can hold the property for 1 year, rent it out, and maybe then they can save it. But remember one thing, when you rent your property, that is told the builder it's your primary property, primary residence, you may have to return the GST component. So there are so many variables here that you need to know. And people say, oh, how will they find if I'm living there or someone else is living there? Well, I think they have means to find it out. If you buy a house from the builder saying this is your primary residence and then you put it on lease for 1 year, waiting to sell it after next year, well, I guess they are smarter than many of us. Right, Amrit?
Right. And I think, I think at the end of the day, the emphasis on having available units for end users is what the government's thinking about, and then rolling out the possibility of smaller developments. Say for example, like if you wanted to expand the square footage of available space at your place, you'd be able to do that. But the the tenancy rules might apply. I mean, if you're looking to sell the place later on, sometimes I've found that tenants become quite difficult to work with. If obviously they need shelter too, right? Where are they going to go?
Yeah.
So flipping taxes are going to be quite significant coming up here too.
Yeah. Well, are you aware about an organization called UBS? I
UBS.
wasn't aware of this before. I just saw it, and they do a lot of research. And this
Hmm.
is, I think, a branch of some bank in Switzerland. It's called
Hmm.
Union Bank of Switzerland. It's a multinational, diversified financial service company which is headquartered in Zurich and Basel. UBS is involved in all major financial activities. So they picked Toronto as bubbliest housing market as prices drop. That this was the bubbliest market as the prices drop. So Toronto housing market is looking like the world's biggest real estate bubble. This item is published in BNN Bloomberg, with Frankfurt not far behind in a UBS Group AG study of cities with the greatest potential for home price declines in the coming months. So we are there.
Wow.
Hey, Toronto never stops stealing the headlines. Canada's financial capital rose to the top position in the Swiss bank's annual ranking of real estate market most in danger of correcting. So they give the cities are like this. World's bubbliest housing market. Number one is Toronto. I should be happy about that, or I should be crying about that. Second is Frankfurt. That is Germany, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Zurich, Munich. Sorry for my pronunciation. Me no English. Then comes
München.
number five is Hong Kong. The least
Right.
is Miami, number 10. That means the houses are not going to decline that fast, but they will still decline. Tel Aviv is at number 8, Tokyo is at number 9, Amsterdam is at number 7, Vancouver. I can tell you, you are feeling excited now.
Yeah.
Vancouver is at number 7. You see this
Six.
here?
6. Yeah.
Yeah, at number 6. Okay, I gave you one more number. So Toronto, Frankfurt, highest on the list of cities with the most risk of dropping prices. So in Toronto, benchmark home prices jumped 71% in the 3 years through February. Data from the Canadian Real Estate Association show since then they have fallen 8.6% from February. The bank warned other cities may face the same pressure as homeowners start to get squeezed by higher mortgage cost on one side and job losses on the other. We can laugh all we can, but the bottom line, Amrit, and correct me if I'm wrong, people are going to lose jobs as we face a recession, and the house prices are going to go through a biggest decline ever. And the interest rates they may stay higher because Bank of Canada has indicated they are going to put a stop on rate hikes. Today, I guess 2 p.m., US Feds are going to make announcement about their policy rate. It's 2 p.m. I don't know which time zone it is, but I guess it should be somewhere soon that they are going to announce, and they are going to soften after this. This is what Yahoo Finance report. They say Feds expected to again rise rates by 75 basis points, then lay the ground for a step down. Step down is good. What do you think?
Step down is a necessity at the present time. I mean,
Yeah,
um,
because they see
it's
recession.
it's curbed. Yeah, it's certainly curbed the spending. Now, the direction might be that okay, with some announcement saying okay, these are the riskiest cities, or these things are a little bit got to be looked at with caution. So somebody's coming in, okay, I want to move to Canada. Well, let me see and research where I want to live.
Hmm.
They'll analyze, okay, here we go. These are the riskiest places. Maybe let's start in Winnipeg. Okay? So the people who are already in Winnipeg, they're already moving.
Yeah, we only have 2 minutes to close.
So here's my little uh, synopsis. It's not going to change the demand. And is there going to be a significant drop in prices? I don't think so. The demand will continue. Let's see what happens.
I
But
don't understand. On one side, they're trying to bring the inflation down, cutting the
mhm,
demand. On the other side, they're bringing 500,000 people every year into Canada, and then they are going soft on rate hikes, and then we are looking eye to eye into inflation.
mhm.
So I don't know how those all intricate factors they achieve one goal, cutting the demand, reducing the rates, and making things affordable. I really can't understand. My brain is about to burst thinking all these things. How
Well, I
can you
mean
kill
that's what
demand when there are 500,000 people coming every year?
there might be more. Okay, so the demand doesn't get killed because the people that are coming, they're coming with boatloads of money. Do
Yeah,
they need mortgages? The restrictions are like they're strangling the local population,
yeah.
not the
Anyways,
new people.
we have a lot to talk about. I wish Amrit were here some other day soon. Or maybe he can come every day with us. That would be fantastic. I like your company, Amrit. It's such a
I like.
lively discussion, and
We got to
we
keep
are
things
so
lively.
grateful
Yeah.
to you for being here. Thank you very much. If you need any help selling or buying your home in British Columbia, give a call to Amrit Sura first, and then see what next he suggests you to do. His phone number is 778 999 1531. I can tell you he serves Surrey, Langley, Abbotsford, and maybe Whitehead too. I don't know. Whitehead is also close by.
White
So
Rock.
he has a helicopter. He can take you everywhere you want. So enjoy the ride. Eh? Give me a minute to close the program. You have to say anything as your closing remarks?
Just a note to people is to, stay close to your friends and peers and network group, and make sure you're uh, being encouraged to move forward on a day-to-day basis. Don't get overstressed. This will eventually be something you talk about in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that comment. Remember that November 11 is Remembrance Day. So at 11 a.m. on 11th of November, please observe 2 minute silence. If you can visit where the ceremonies are held, that would be fantastic. So buy a poppy, flaunt it on your jacket or suit, and then feel proud. Many people laid their lives in order to save yours, get you freedom. Do what you do these days. They fought selflessly. They fought for you, for the nation, for the better of every living creature on this planet. So please respect them. 11 a.m., 11th November this year. Please pay them your homage and respect. It is important that you understand the invaluable contribution of these people. They gave their life, which you are never going to repay with your life, but just respect them. So buy a poppy today. There are many outlets, most major stores, they have this poppy box. And I pity those low souls who steal those boxes from the store. This is sheer nonsense. Before I take your permission, I would like to express my condolences to the families of those who lost their beloved one today. We pray to God for peace to the departed soul and also for you to get over this grief. It's a big vacuum, I get it, but at some point you have to keep moving. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we will be live from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We have Home Inspector coming in. He is a very reputed Home Inspector, and I'm pretty sure you will enjoy from his learnings